I don't really feel bad for people that act like their minds are a overused aircraft carrier when I'm acting like an F-22 Raptor, okay? And I am learning more and more each day. And I've learned this a long time ago, but I'm learning it more and more, even more in depth now, that we've got to create our own justice. We don't have to wait for it anymore. All right, and not only are you going to prove them wrong, you're going to actually do yourself a favor and demonstrate to yourself and prove to yourself that you are exactly who you said you were from the beginning. You are exactly the person that you knew inside your heart that you always were. And all these people that didn't believe you, all these people that didn't want to support you, all these people that didn't believe in your vision, they didn't understand, or they were there, your day ones, they were there, but all of a sudden, when things get a little bit tough or things start to look a little bit rocky, they're no longer there anymore. Why is that? Because they can't handle what you're able to handle. If you've got a destination and your vehicle is an F-22 Raptor and all these aircraft carrier mines are around you that are super slow, the engines are not even barely working, and you're ready to go full speed ahead, you can go to the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows super quick. Why should you wait for these people? Why should you wait? Sometimes you just got to create your own path and create the path that you know that you're able to go down to. And so, this is going to be something that you might come across very often, or maybe you're just barely realizing it now, that a lot of the people around you do not have the same kind of mind as you do. It's almost like asking somebody that owns a super fancy car, like a McLaren or something, I don't know. And they've got they've got a Rio, like a Ford Rio or whatever that is. It's like this BS kind of a car. Or they've got a Prius. And you're on the racetrack, you're ready to go. And they're telling you, oh, well, I got to get 10 laps ahead just so that we can make things fair. No, you don't. No, you don't. You can just go for it, man. You can just go for it. I'm here to tell you that you can just go for your dreams. Make your dreams the reality that you know that they can be, because there's not going to be anybody else that can really make your dreams come true and your vision come true except for you and the Most High. If it's not going to be you and it's not going to be the Most High, it's not going to be anybody. Okay, you've got to make sure that it's you and the Most High that are going to be able to create that vision that you have into a reality. Why is this important? Because so many people nowadays think that somebody's going to come to save them. A lot of men that I see, people really in general, but a lot of men particularly, when they're in the suck, they're going through the muck, they're going through the suck, that's where their spirit is really tested, and they're not really able to make that next step, that next part of the journey going forward. And a lot of the reasons for that is because it's like they get caught up in the storm and they forget that they are the storm. You are the storm. You're the one that brings the party. You're the one that brings the excitement. You're the one that brings the energy. You're the one that's really got the authority God-given on this earth. Because think about this. There's a beautiful story in the New Testament where Yeshua, Jesus, is confronted by the Pharisees, who were the religious leaders at the time. He's confronted, and they're saying, how do you have the authority to do these things that you do? How come you have the confidence and the authority to do the things that you do? And Yeshua says, well, let me ask you something. Is the baptism of John of heaven or is it of earth? And the Pharisees think for a second, and they say, well, If we say the baptism is of heaven, then we actually say that Yeshua is the Son of God. But if we say that it's of earth, then we deny that John's a prophet. Now, at the time, Yeshua's cousin John was considered a prophet among the people. And so to denounce John as a prophet would be to get an uprising in the people. So they sit there for a second, and the Pharisees contemplate, and they say, well, we say neither. And then Yeshua says, well, then neither do I tell you where I get my authority from. Mwah. There's a beautiful line. There's a beautiful line and a great learning experience, because what does that tell you? It tells you that nobody has any power over you except the ones that you give them. Specifically, what the Most High gives them and what God gives them. But if you are giving somebody else your power, you're literally acknowledging to the devil that the devil can take what is yours. And I mean, some people don't even know what they're getting themselves into, right? You don't always know what you're getting yourself into before it's too late. But there's going to be certain life lessons to learn there. And there's going to be paths. And guess what? Even if you do get into something that you don't think that it is what it actually is, what it is, like it turned out to be something completely not what you thought, and now you're kind of like you have to go through that process in order to get out. Don't wait. You just have to go with it. You just have to go through it. That's the only way, that's the only process that you can make. It's the only thing you can do. And guess what? You're going to be able to come back if you have the drive, if you have the spirit and the truth. You're going to be able to come back and make things happen tenfold to what it was. You're going to be able to bounce back like they never thought you could. Something that I'm beginning to realize is, as I'm looking in the mirror earlier today, I thought to myself, you know, that man right there, a lot of people in the world years ago never thought that man right there would become what he is today. And I'm not even anywhere near where I want to be. Like I'm just getting started out here. We're just getting started. We're just getting it cracking. And yet I'm already elevating to a point where it's like people they didn't even think you were capable of this kind of thing. And that's kind of a good feeling, you know. It's a good feeling. It's not because I wanted to prove them wrong. It just so happens that I did. And I'm proving myself ever more each day to be the man that I know I am on the inside. To know who and where I'm going and what I'm becoming. That's something that, it's not necessarily self-idolization. It is a form of self-belief, but it's not idolization, because I know that I could never have done this without the Most High. I know that I would have never been able to do this without Yeshua. And so I'm forever grateful for being able to come into the truth and abide in the truth and to live what is true. Because that in of itself is really a blessing. Because a lot of people don't want to handle the truth. They don't know how to handle the truth. Why? Because it's almost too heavy of a burden, and to realize the truth would be to completely eliminate the lies and the illusions that you have in your own mind. These grandeurs that you've created, these illusions of grandeur in your own mind about what the world is and where, like, what pinnacle is where, and like up is really down and down is really up. And it's just, when you come into the truth, things really begin to change in a way that you never really thought they would before. You never really thought that you could be the person that you are today until you go through the pain, until you go through the suffering, and until you accept that sorrow and feel it. You actually have to feel it in order to get beyond it. Because that's another thing. A lot of people don't want to feel the pain of work. And I get it. I really do. Because I was really lazy for a long time. I didn't want to work. And when I say work, I mean, it's not like I wanted to do the 9 to 5. I mean, I still don't want to do a 9 to 5, but it's for certain reasons. It's not because I don't want to work. I love working, man. I love it. I love working on things that I actually want to work on. There wouldn't be any other thing that I would want to be doing other than working on what I want to work on. But I need certain resources and tools to get there. And in this world, because this system is so screwed up, you have to go through all these hoops and go through this and go through that. They tell you to go into debt so that you can make love to the banks. They tell you to get insurance so you can stay on insurance forever. Only to realize down the line that it was all a scam. They tax you into oblivion, calling it anything they want so that they can just give your money away to other countries and not even give it to the people that need it most. Everything around you is designed to not benefit you, basically. They claim to want to benefit you, but they don't. And what makes me different, what would somebody like me, who is just talking on a screen on a cell phone here in the middle of a valley with beautiful mountains, by the way. We also got like some snow up there. We had a little bit of snow lower, but it looks like it melted. But why would some guy that's just talking about this kind of stuff, like what could anything I have to say be of use or utility to you? Well, that's something that you have to ask for yourself, because if anything of what I'm saying is resonating, which if you've gotten this far in the video, then I guarantee it has, then you know that I'm abiding in the truth. You don't, and if you do want to question me, I welcome the questions. I welcome the criticisms, but I do not welcome ad hominems or character attacks or trolls. I don't accept that. If somebody says certain things to me, I used to want to just like leave the comment, like, oh, you know what, like free speech, right? Free speech. And then I realized, I'm like, why do I have to listen to these people disrespect me when I know what I've gone through and they're acting like I haven't gone through it? And even when I try to be cordial with them, they're still treating me like a troll that they are. Or they're treating me in a way where they're just trolling. So why should I take anything that they have to say seriously, and why should I keep them on this channel? I have no tolerance for that kind of stuff anymore. I used to think, again, it's good, and I don't care. Like, if you want to say what you want to say about me, that's fine. Again, I'm just going to prove you wrong and prove me right down the line. So it doesn't really bother me too much. But what does bother me is character assassinations and ad hominems. I don't deal with that kind of stuff. Stop the trolling. It's annoying, and who does it really help? Go back to your keyboard warrior class somewhere else, okay? This isn't the place to do that. But anyways, guys, I hope this video was useful and insightful, and I hope that you got something from it, because now's the time to create that justice. In the Bible, it says to do justice is better than sacrifice. There's a reason for that, okay? There's a reason. Because to do righteousness is going to be playing a part in the heavenliness that we can bring to the earth. And correction is always going to be better in the long run. But we have to make sure that we're actually doing it from pure intentions, and we're not trying to be disrespectful. We're just saying it how it is. And we're not going to hurt anybody's feelings by being truthful, okay? I don't take anything personally unless it's actually personal. Because I know the game. I know the game. I know the game of life. I understand that to take all this too personally will just crush you. And that's not what you need. That's not what anybody needs. So with all that being said, there's only a couple more days left until we have the 7 deadly sins classes beginning in the Regal Change Academy. If you want to sign up, now's the time, because the first class, as I said, starts in just a couple days. So if you want to check that out, there's a link in the description box below to the Regal Change Academy. And if you want to join the free Regal Change Academy on Discord, there's also a link in the description box below. And this is where we're going to help people grow closer to the Most High. We're going to help them build and strengthen healthy relationships, build their brand or purpose, and really just encourage an overall healthy lifestyle as a whole. Also, I want to thank everybody that's been moving from YouTube over to X and Rumble recently. I really appreciate you guys, and y'all are the OGs of this channel. And again, I just appreciate all the support at this time and all the prayers as well. That's really been encouraging, and I'm really grateful for that, because prayer is so much more powerful than we realize. When we're actually abiding in the truth, when we're actually feeling the Holy Spirit, man, there's nothing quite like it. That fire of the Holy Spirit, whew, it'll get you, man. It'll get you in such a good way. And with all that being said, peace be with you all. Till next time.